So here's the deal. I got 2 broken spokes and my biking mentor was not available. So I looked up real quick, like, should I ride? And it's like, if you have 1 broken spoke, it's okay. If you have multiple, probably don't. And I chose to do it anyway. And I checked them all, and my rear wheel is definitely a little looser all around, and the front is pretty tight still for spokes. And there's one other one that's like pretty loose. So if I get wrecked or just explode my back wheel, that's on me, obviously. I think that it broke during the last ride because on the way home I like heard some clicking and my shifting and my gears and stuff still aren't working very well, so I thought it was that. It felt like that's what it was. But anyway, that's the situation right now. I'm gonna do Tuka Salah with the chest cam, and then I'm gonna stop doing trails in this kind of trail system for a while and start heading over to the college and do 6 Mile and that stuff, because I'm really hungry to do that stuff. But it'll be at least a week. I want to go there with the bike in tip-top shape and me in better shape. So I've had an appointment for like a month, if not longer, to get my bike in, and it'll be there next week, a week from today. So hopefully everything gets sorted out, and then we can start really riding hard. Anyway, let's get it. Hold on to your butts, man. So that was Tuka Salah with the chest cam. That steep descent there towards the end, before you kind of get to cliff's edge, you just gotta send it. Like, there's not, once you're going down, there's really nothing you can do. Like, you know, you can have your brakes just clamped full on. You just gotta get low, lean back, or whatever your approach is to steep descents, and use your trail vision and just give her. I'm reminded, yeah, because like I keep thinking like, oh, that wasn't that bad, and every time I want it, I'm like, I'm gonna die. I'm probably gonna die right now. But I haven't wrecked on it yet. But yeah, there it is. So, it's a little rainy today, and I'm not working. It is Tuesday. Just spending some time in the studio here, which is great. I don't get here as much as I want to, but I've got other priorities too. So, and I've been working a decent amount, so that's been really good. But yeah, it is a little rainy. Normally that would bug me on a day off, especially because I would want to be riding trails. But as you saw, I am missing 2 spokes. They are broken. So I've got an appointment. I'm dropping my bike off this Thursday and picking it up Friday. So, yeah, that stuff will get fixed. Hopefully my shifting issues will get figured out as well. They're going to do a tune-up and whatever else, and I'm going to find a way to pay for that. So anyway, that's why I'm not too upset about it raining. I'm really just content to be in the studio today. I want to keep working on this piece. I've done a couple sessions on it. One where I just spray painted it blue and gold, and that was it. Then I added some heavy tar gel, which dries pretty much clear for the most part. This stuff here. And then I just did a session with it a couple days ago where I kind of did these drip stuff and left it there. And I'm hoping to finish that up today, but I'm also content to just do some reading, maybe some writing, whatever. I'm going to get to work here and hopefully start on this thing. And like I said, do some reading, just chill out for a bit. on this rainy day, and it's nice. It's a nice day to be in here. Oh, now I remember. I was kind of stalling because there was something I wanted to say, but I forgot. In the last vlog, I brought up some jobs that I applied for. I forgot to mention that I also applied for a post-secondary position. An instructor at, was it VCAD in Calgary, Visual College of Art and Design. They're looking for an instructor. You didn't need to have a master's to apply. Most post-secondary institutions, especially universities, you need to have a master's in order to be an instructor in whatever field or subject you're going to be teaching in. But this one didn't ask for a master's, but asked for relevant degrees and stuff. And I think my B.Ed and my BFA make me make the job applicable to me. I guess I feel like I'm qualified. That would be really cool because there's very, very few opportunities I ever find to apply for post-secondary jobs. And I've talked before about how when I was finishing up my BFA, I was like, oh, do I want to teach at the university level or the high school level? And I was kind of like humming and hawing. And I ultimately chose high school. But, after years of trying to break in and get a position, I mean, if I can find a job, I think I would be perfectly content working in a post-secondary institution as well. So I'll update you about that stuff when I know. I haven't gotten an interview or anything yet with any of the places I've applied to, so we'll see. So something I said I was going to do a long time ago, months ago, was see if I can fit my bike in my car. I really wanted to do it without taking the front wheel off and without changing the angle of my handlebars, but I had to do both those things. And this is the stuff that was in my trunk. All that stuff too. So I can have that stuff in the car still. Like, it's not going to be very often that I need to put my bike in my trunk. Or, I need to drive anywhere with it. It depends on how often I want to go to Tabor or anywhere else to ride, because I guess now it's like, oh, I can do it. I can just head off to, wherever. But it's a hassle. I don't like doing it. It's annoying. It's not that big a deal in reality. It's probably only a 5-minute thing. But there's so many trails around here that I haven't done yet, or I haven't done this season yet, or whatever, that, I don't feel the need to do it often. Like, maybe going to Tabor once a month would be cool. And if I had more money, then maybe I'd go to other places. But also, it's like, if I was riding every day, if I was riding 5 times a day or something like that, then I would feel like I want to get out more and go to different places, but I'm not riding that often. So, but maybe this summer, maybe that'll change. Who knows? Anyway, so it fits, but it's cumbersome. And this is most of the stuff is winter gear or emergency gear, and I just don't really have another good place for it. And it's stuff that I would need in the car if I needed it. But, yeah, anyway, the reason that I am putting my bike in the car is because I need to take it into the shop. I've had an appointment booked for just a spring tune-up for a month and a half, and I also have broken spokes and stuff, which I think I've already mentioned in this vlog. So, gonna do that tomorrow, drop it off, and then pick it up Friday. Well, I'm pretty excited right now for a weird reason. Feel pretty good. Definitely not anything super big that would be a huge, massive weight lifted off my shoulders because I found a job or something, or landed into a bunch of money. Nothing that's going to cure a lot of my anxiety and big stressors, but I had a realization today while I was subbing. We had some work periods and I got a little time to read, and yesterday and today were kind of the same that way. I got some time to read and quieter time to reflect, and I don't give myself enough of that time when I'm not working, and I need to do better at that, which is part of the desire to meditate more and stuff. And also did some writing yesterday and today, or maybe not yesterday, a couple days ago and today. And during my reading and a little bit of writing, I had this moment where something clicked. And I've talked about it before, I just don't know how long it's been, but short version is that in high school I was very sad. A lot of the pain that I felt manifested itself in sadness and feeling sad, big sad, wasn't good for years. I have never been diagnosed clinically depressed or anything else for that matter. But I don't think I was like capital D depressed during that time, but it was close probably. So, and then at some point I had made a realization that using anger to express pain or whatever, my pain manifesting itself through anger, it was easier to get rid of and it felt more immediate. And I was doing some of those things while I had big SADs, but transitioning out of that, in about grade 12, and one of those things that I did was start screaming along with metal music. It was like this active activity where I expressed anger towards the air. It wasn't harming anyone, but eventually that anger started harming me and people around me, as it kind of subconsciously took, or my pain just came out in anger more and more and more throughout the years. And it's only been the last year or two that I've really focused on getting away from that. I'd say it started like more than that, probably started around 4-ish years ago, where I started to very slowly get away from that, but it's been much more of a conscious thing the past year or two. And part of that was recognizing that sadness is not something I can get away from. That at some points there was a conscious decision to express things in anger because I didn't want to be sad, and then it ended up not ruling my life, but I definitely ended up submitting to anger without realizing it more and more, and it just became part of who I was. And there was a time where I just got so broken a year ago that anger didn't matter, and I was trying to get away from anger anyway, consciously, but my pain was overflowing and came out as sadness. There was nowhere else for it to go. And parts of things that I had read and heard and whatever collected in my experiences told me that, like this whole concept of sitting with sadness, and I've explained why I can't do that very well, because feeling sad to me is like, it doesn't feel temporary. It feels permanent. It feels like doom. It feels like, I mentioned this, I think, during the last vlog or the one before that, where I'm like, oh, it can be a tunnel and not a pit of despair? Crazy. Because that's what it always feels like for me. Sadness makes me feel anxious because I feel like it will never stop. And I have a really hard time logicking and reasoning myself out of that. And being like, you know what? No, it'll stop. It'll be okay. Like, I'll get through it. Like, it's just a little bit and then I'll be fine. It doesn't feel like that. So, yeah. But last year, it just became overwhelming. And I never embrace sadness, but my pain coming out through sadness, and just was like, man, I have to accept or admit that it's going to happen, and I have to try and be okay with it. I'm still not okay with it, but I at least admit that it's going to happen, that I can't get away from it, and I guess that it's better than anger. But with anger, depending on how it was directed, it like felt somewhat good, whereas sitting in sadness doesn't feel good to me. And in anger, if I was, screaming in anger through music, whether it be alone on a walk or with the bands that I had previously been in and got to do that once a week or sometimes more, was really cathartic and good for me and felt good. And I really miss that. Anger sometimes definitely expressed itself in my visual art. No, here's the thing. The realization that I made was that I have been avoiding expressing pain in my art. And I used to express pain in my art a decent amount, and it came out as anger in my art, which is still good that it's not directed towards a person, and there's no harm in my relationships generally. It was just this thing I'm feeling that I need to get out, and it was pain, and pain manifested through anger, and so I expressed it that way on the canvas. But recently, the past couple of years, I have just, because I've been getting away from anger, I guess it's translated to me getting away from pain. And you can't get away from pain. Pain demands to be felt. So it's been coming out as sadness as I've been getting away from anger, which I think is a good thing. But again, it's hard for me to sit in that space, even though I'm becoming more accustomed to the fact that it just needs to happen. It's still really hard. And I've realized today that man, some of my artwork has felt really stale, or I've been getting away from this or that, and I'm just like, and it's because, I mean, I made some really fun stuff like a month, 3 weeks ago, I don't know. And I enjoyed it, and I was like, you know, I'm leaning more towards design and getting away more from like heavy capital A art with meaning and purpose and this heavy stuff that I was like all about, and emotional stuff, which I still make, but like it was not concept heavy, it was kind of fun, and I enjoyed it, and I think I still will do more stuff like that. But I think one reason that I got to that place was because I wasn't I was at a stalemate, and I didn't realize why. And like part of the reason that I've been struggling with my visual art so much is because I haven't been expressing pain, and it was an avenue to express pain. I mean, my like art for me started as writing, and I still express that pain and sadness and stuff through writing. I can still express pain through writing, whether it's anger or sadness or whatever, and that seems to come out, and sometimes through photography and editing as well. But my visual art, I was just like not, because it just was this, I don't know, if I did it, it would be too immersive. It would be, I felt like if I did it, it would be perpetuating the sadness that I obviously want to get away from. But if I can use this as a cathartic process and as an avenue to express it in a controlled environment, I'm kind of excited to see what happens, because this is like new territory for me. It feels like expressing sadness. Anyway, that's my big thing. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited, which is weird. I mean, weird to be excited about this. Well, nothing else really happened today that I haven't talked about, so gonna wrap up the vlog there. And yeah, other videos this week. There is a one raw ride of Tuka Salah chest cam video. My bike is in the shop now, so hopefully I get that back tomorrow with everything just tip-top, and I can do some riding this weekend. And the other video is a conversation about why because isn't a good enough reason for stuff. Not a legit reason to just say because I don't want to. So obviously specifics in that conversation, but with that, we'll see you on another time.